Hi everyone, welcome to the trading channel. So it's Fonsi here, and I'll be taking you through a few things. And this is just trading for beginners and just a few things that you need to know. So don't panic, that's the main thing. And I'll take you through it. So hopefully this helps the newbies and people who are trying to trade on the ASX. So my disclaimer, whatever I say does not constitute trading advice. You need to do your own research, and I'm not a broker. So you need to start asking yourself, why do you want to trade? Because if you don't have a goal, if you don't have a name, then there's no purpose. You can't just say, maybe I just want to trade because I just need money for shopping. Of course, yes, maybe that's a reason, but everyone has got their own reasons. So some people want to trade because they want spare money, some want to buy a house, some want to support their families, some maybe they want to buy cars, some just want to save money, some just want to retire early. So there are various reasons why you need to trade. So you need to stay focused and know why you started trading in the first place, because it's not that easy and you don't want to be lost along the way. So you need to always go back to the reasons why you started trading. You can't trade if you don't like research and reading, because there's a lot of reading that goes on, trust me. If you don't read, there's going to be a problem. So you need to know where you're reading. Are you reading 35% of what you know from the announcements themselves? 29%, are you maybe reading more about the commodities, getting to know what it's all about? Then the other percentages, maybe looking on other sites. I know some people end up going to social media, but you got to be careful what you're looking for there, because there's so much information out there. Some people end up jumping in and out of stocks and losing focus. So you need to know where you're reading, what you're reading, where you're going to use that information, because at times people end up making the wrong decisions, like reading so much on Twitter, then just jumping into a stock simply because they know a certain trader. But my problem with that is you don't know when that person got in the first place. So you may end up just buying what they're selling to you. So you got to be careful. So, what are you trading? What's trending? Is it gold? Is it maybe the silver squeeze? So you gotta be careful with some of these things like the silver squeeze, because sometimes it's just temporary where people just run the stocks and they dump them. So you need to be prepared, and you've got nobody to blame when things go wrong, honestly, except yourself, because you're the one with the trading password, you're the one with the money. So just know that you can actually control this. You don't need to be anybody's puppet. You need to protect your money. So are you trading gold? Is it lithium you want? Is it copper? Is it nickel? Is it cobalt? Have you actually done the research to actually see what's going on around these commodities, or you just jumping in? Do you want to maybe go into biotech? Are you reading? Do you understand what these announcements mean? So you need to read that. So you can't just come onto the ASX or market, for example, and just think you're just going to get anything. That's not the way it works. So another thing as well, your money. You need to know that you should be only able to risk what you can afford to lose. You don't want a situation whereby you just trading, jumping there and there, losing your money, because trust me, you can easily lose that money. So you need to know when you're buying, when you're selling. So you don't want to get into a habit of just buying any stock, and then when you see another stock running, you jump out, yet you're not in profit yet. So you'll end up losing it all. So you need to know what you're doing. And that money, you need to know that when you lost it, at times you can't get it back. And you need to really work hard for the next run so that you can get in and get out. You need to know the trading terms, because there's so much to read out there, new words which you've not even come across. Capital raisings, there'll be trading holds, there'll be some ceasing to be substantial holders. What does that mean? So all these things will come up. So with time you get to know them. So just get to familiarize yourself with those terms, there's absolutely no rush to just jump in without knowing what you're doing. So we've got an issue with social media. We've got Twitter. I think some people say some people go on Facebook, but well, I'm not on there, so I wouldn't know. So there's so much influence out there, and of course there'll be some trying to pump their stocks as well. So you need to be careful of that. There's some trading forums or chat groups, top stocks, of course. The one we all know now, Reddit. There's Hot Copper, which has got quite a lot of stuff going on about the ASX there, and you just need to know how to digest the information that you get. Then you've got issues with some peer pressure and fear of missing out. That FOMO. So if a stock is running and it's already run, why are you chasing it? Why do you want to be the one who's going to be holding this stock high? So you've got to be careful with this as well. And always remember, trading is not a competition. You're not here to compete against somebody else. Because once you start doing that, then you've got a problem. You're going to be losing quite a lot of money because it's not a competition. Somebody's profit has got nothing to do with you because you don't know how far they've come and you don't know how early they got in before you. You don't know what their aim, their goal is. Some people are just day trading. All they want is quick cash, and they'll keep on repeating that for, bigger outcome in the long run. Are you in here long term, short term? That's what you need to remember. So this is not a competition. So you just need to know that. So you need to now get to understand these trading platforms, where you're going to trade, which companies are you going to use. There are various companies out there. What are their commission for a trade, whether you're buying or selling, that sort of thing? What works for you? So I'm not going to name them because that's for you to do your research. So you just need to know some basic maths as well. So maybe you got $1,000 or $500 and you want to buy stock for maybe 3 cents or 2 cents or maybe 0.005 cents. So you need to be able to do some quick maths calculations. If maths is a bit of an issue with you, just make sure you've got a simple calculator rather, not a trading calculator, but a simple calculator where you can work out your math and your money and just basic maths. So that's the thing. And you need to know your decimals and as well discipline. Sometimes if you're trading from WA in Western Australia, you will have to wake up earlier than the guys trading in Sydney because of the time difference. So are you willing to wake up late when everything is run? Because most of the times what happens on the market actually happens early morning when market opens. Are you willing to actually stay on that market for 6 hours? Are you willing to be gallivanting around? Well, I know that some people go to work, of course. Yeah, I'm talking about full time traders. So, are you willing to be that trader who, when everything runs, you're like, oh, damn, sorry, I've missed something because I had gone somewhere else. So, if you're part time, yeah, it's allowed. If you're going to be doing long term stocks because maybe you got a job elsewhere and you're doing something, yeah, so be it. Just find what works for you. And another thing, trading can be lonely. So you need to stay sane. You need to have the right mental attitude because you don't want to end up sick, worrying about these stocks because sometimes you put money in there and then the stock drops. So you need to find out why, that dropped. Were you chasing or did you buy high? Have you done your education? Do you really know what goes on and what makes these stocks go up and come down? Are you reading? That's the thing. So find other things to be doing as well besides trading. So are you that mentally strong that if it drops, you can hold on, or it's just going to drive you nuts? So we need to protect our sanity. And then education, I'll go into that one next. You need to read, you need to know what you're doing. There's so much to learn, so much to learn about the charts, so much to learn. But if you're lazy, that's a problem. Because if you're lazy, you're not going to make it on the market because it's tough. You need to read and you need to know what you're doing. You cannot expect somebody to be feeding you because people have got their portfolios to manage as well. So you need to read. You need to get yourself educated about stock trading. And it's not something whereby, when we go to uni or when we're in high school, we learn about it. These are things we learn after. So you need to know what you're doing, as nobody's going to be spoon feeding you. And another thing, I think I've already mentioned this, if a stock is run already, don't be that kind of person who's got a tendency of buying these stocks high every time. Then you say, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with me. Every time I buy a stock, the stock drops. You need to actually look into that yourself. And when you win, you need to also look at that and say, oh, how did I do this? What made me do this so well and do this so good? And then when you lose as well, you need to look into that, what made me lose and what can I do better. But most of the times, you actually learn from your mistakes more than, the winners. And when those announcements come, that's another thing. If you're going to be sleeping and not reading these announcements, expecting other people to read them for you, then there's a problem. You need to be able to actually read them yourself and know what's going on because, as I say, people have got their portfolios to manage. So you need to be active in this. You're not going to make money if you're not active. So you don't want to be that person who's going to be buying high, selling low. As easy as it all sounds, most of the time when people say buy low, sell high, because that's what you're supposed to do. If you got an issue with maybe the stock dropping, maybe put a stop loss or something. If you can't use that stop loss, then buy maybe stocks are long term at bottom. Then they're gonna go up, and then you sell. And lastly, we're all here to trade, maybe try make profit, that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, you need your rest. You need that me time where you're gonna rest, spend time with the family because at times you get so carried away and you're just trading, trading, forgetting this family. Years go by, then you look back, you realize, oh my gosh, I've missed quite a lot because I've just been on the market. Even after the market, just go out, hang out with family, friends. If you got a hobby, just get to do what you like doing as well. So it's not just about trading. So, yeah, so you can follow me on Twitter, you can subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with other topics and I'll be talking to you then. So, for now, take care.